Hey, this is Dale Calvert. This session will be recorded on our YouTube channel as well as our podcast because it's that important. I would not believe a word that you're getting ready to hear if anybody else was sharing this. Thankfully, I know many of you listen to me, followed me for many years, and you know I don't blow smoke. I share the facts, share things as they are. But a lot of you that we listen to this have never heard of me. You don't know me from Joe Blow. I just want to assure you that everything you're getting ready to hear is 100% legit. It sounds too good to be true. I grant you that. I understand. But you're looking at Kelly and Gordy. Those of you that watch it on YouTube, you're looking at a picture of my good friends I've known for over 25 years, Kelly and Gordy Alderson. They're in Texas. 40 days ago, they knew absolutely nothing about the business model we're getting ready to share with you. They knew nothing. They started from scratch, and in the last 40 days have created over $1 million in commissions in the last 40 days, from zero to $1 million in 40 days. And we're going to share with you exactly how all that happened. And of course, I need to do a disclaimer, I guess, at this point. So let me do that from a disclaimer standpoint. Uh, and how do you do a disclaimer on something like this? I mean, really. But everything you're going to hear is documented and it's true. But I wouldn't believe it if somebody was telling me. Okay, we're not we're not making any type of income projections. As a matter of fact, most of the people that watch this video should not get started, should not even attempt it, but simply because you don't have the skill sets and the mindsets to make it happen. Unfortunately, a lot of people are information gatherers, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're talking about listening to podcasts, if we're talking about watching YouTube videos. The world is full of a lot of entrepreneurs out there, people that want to become an entrepreneur, but they don't have the ability to take action. Action takers are the money makers. And unfortunately, there's just a lot of people that are gathering information. Knowledge without action leads to self-delusion. It's not going to cost you a nickel to get involved if you qualify to become a member of our team. There is a test that you have to take to make sure you have a basic understanding of what you're talking about. But there is no risk involved. There's no monthly auto ship. There's no upfront fees. There's no training course. It's 100% free to get started if you qualify. So, but there's no guarantee you're going to make a nickel. Okay, there's so I guess that's where the disclaimer comes in. There's no reason that I can tell that you should lose a nickel, lose 1 penny, because there's no fees to get started. But with that said, again, there's no guarantee that you'll make a nickel. What I'm going to share with you over the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you exactly how the Aldersons have created $1 million plus in commissions without selling anything, and are enrolling or recruiting anyone. No recruiting, no enrolling, and they haven't sold anything. There's no monthly fees. You're also going to learn how average people that are teachable and willing to take action have made as much money in 40 days as many of them will make in a year. Okay, so that's the qualifying factor here. Are you teachable and willing to take action? That's it. I'm going to share with you why this is a once in a lifetime opportunity and why most people will still miss it, and why this is probably not for you. We're not looking for everybody. We're looking for sick and tired entrepreneurs, people that are frustrated, that are willing to work, they're teachable. They've been going after different business models, but have not found the right business model yet at the right time in history. That's really who we're making this for. And honestly, I just want to document this at this time and place in history, because it's going to be real fun a couple, 3 years from now, sitting down with Gordy and Kelly and saying, you remember when? Honestly, I want to document it. And I'll share with you why this is the most understood business opportunity in history, and why by the time most people figure out what's going on, it'll be over. Now, this past weekend, there was a closed door meeting in Florida, West Palm Beach, but only about 150 people were there. I had to miss it. I have good reason for that, because my granddaughter was playing in a basketball tournament, one of the biggest tournaments of the year to start out the season. I told her I would be there. I planned on being there for a year, and I wasn't going to back out, and I didn't want to back out. I wanted to be there watching her play basketball. But my feeling normally is the only reason to miss an event like this is death in the immediate body. But I've talked to multiple people that were there live, and people that also saw the live stream. There was several thousand people on the live stream. And I think the thing that hit home is, with the people that I was speaking with, is the real feeling that people left that event with, even those who were watching on the live stream, is what we've been talking about for the last 40 days. It's real. It's real. And you can't blame people for thinking, and again, I don't blame anybody for thinking, my gosh, there's no way somebody could start a business model from scratch that they know nothing about, and in 40 days create over $1 million in commissions. That's just not possible. Is it? So what are we talking about? We're talking about ERC program. Yes, it sounds like a scam, but it's not. Yes, there are many pop-up scammy companies that are entering this market because it's so hot, because it is legit. But guys, we've seen this over and over. I've talked about it on podcasts. This is just part of the world in which we live. A business model gets hot, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about Shopify stores or Amazon FBA selling. The list goes on and on and on. And business models get hot, and people start doing really well. They start working in the marketplace, working in the niche, honestly, ethically, and effectively. And when the word starts getting out about the type of incomes that are being made, then everybody and their brother tries to jump on the bandwagon. And we are absolutely seeing that in the ERC market as well. Okay, that's why if you're going to get involved in anything, you always have to look behind the curtain. Who's the company? Who am I working with? What's their track record? And so on and so forth. But what is ERC? ERC stands for Employee Retention Credit. Employee Retention Credit. It is a fully refundable tax credit filed against employment taxes. ERC was set up as part of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, the CARES Act. And it was created in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic to help businesses recover from the economic fallout that occurred. It basically is a tax refund. It's refunding taxes that businesses spent during this time period. It essentially provides funding to a business to make up for what was lost during the pandemic. And even if they were more profitable during the pandemic, they can still qualify for ERC funds. But many companies will tell you that the ERC has been the lifeline for their business post the corona outbreak. So it's a government program. The government has put aside an estimated $400 billion with a B, $billion to pay out to businesses, nonprofit organizations that were affected during COVID. And there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of misunderstanding. We hear every day, well, I qualify for the payroll protection program, so therefore the PPP program, so therefore I don't qualify for ERC. That's not true. We hear people saying, well, Dale, my business actually was more profitable during COVID. I don't qualify. That's not true. And again, there's a lot of misinformation in the marketplace, really because there's been so many fly-by-night companies trying to file these claims on behalf of different businesses. There's a lot of CPAs that their expertise is tax planning, doing taxes. It's not ERC, and there's a lot of just misinformation and confusion in the marketplace. So how are people making so much money with this program? And we're going to talk about Kelly and Gordy, but I'm going to share with you a lot of people on our team. We have a ton of people, dozens, that are just making more money than they ever dreamed possible, than any of us ever thought possible. So what are they doing exactly? They contact business owners and ask if they've gotten their ERC funds. Did you get your employee retention credits? Did you get your check? Did you get your funds? And about 40% currently of the people of the organizations, businesses we talk to, they have already received their funds. They have a big smile on their face, or they're in the process. They're in the process. About 40%. About 40%, again, we're told by a CPA, attorney, or other well-meaning advisor that their business or nonprofit doesn't qualify, which is not true. Again, this program has been through about 7 amendments since it started, and there's been a lot of changes. And if you're not in the game, filing these ERC credits daily and staying on top of it, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And then about 20% have heard of it, have never heard of it, and have no idea what we're talking about. So that's the market as of today, December 2022, December 12th, 2022. That's the market as of today. Now, that's going to change. It's going to change because it's not going to be too long where everybody and their brother has heard about ERC. It's the hottest opportunity in the United States without question right now. So what do? We schedule a call. If they say, no, I haven't heard about it. And you say, okay, well, you've got how many W-2 employees do you have? And if they have at least 5, then we can help them. And they say, well, I've got 10. Okay. 10 W-2 employees, based upon the figures we've seen, could return to you about between $70,000 and $100,000. There's about $70,000 to $100,000 in funds that are waiting for you to claim. Would you like to claim those funds? Well, what do I have to do? I can schedule a call for you with the number one ERC recovery firm in the United States. 400 of the top 1,000 companies in the United States, companies like Uber and Hilton Hotels and McDonald's and the Boston Red Sox, and the list goes on, are all clients. They're a very credible company. They've been around since 2009. I can schedule a call with an ERC expert. It'll take about 5 to 10 minutes, and they can answer all your questions and explain the entire process for you. It's that simple. And they say, yeah, schedule a call. And then all we do is go online and we fill in their first name, their last name, their email, their phone number, the legal name of the organization, the nonprofit or the business, how many W-2 employees they have, what industry they're in. And then we schedule on a calendar a time and a date for the call. That's what we do. Now I want you to stop and think about this for a minute. Yes, I am telling you that Gordy and Kelly Alderson have made over $1 million in the last 40 days, contacting business owners that they know and asking them, have you qualified for ERC? And when they say no, scheduling a call with the experts. That's what they do. That's what we all have been doing over the last 40 days. And could you do that? Could you do that? Could you go talk to 10 businesses in your community and say, have you filed for your ERC claim? Have you filed your ERC claim? Have you received your ERC money yet? And start a simple conversation and get a call booked with an expert. We do not have to be the expert. We can connect them with the number one company, the number one ERC recovery firm in the United States. Sent out over $4 million last month to businesses around the United States. Could you do that? That's what we're doing. It's no more difficult than that. That's it. That's what we do. So the next obvious question is, how do you get paid? Bottom line, name of the company, works on a contingency basis. Normally anywhere from 10 to 30% of the found money. Again, I did a church church school last week. They have 40 teachers. They're looking at around $320,000 in funds that have been sitting there waiting for them to claim. It's found money, $320,000. Bottom line does all the paperwork. This is a pretty extensive, detailed process to get this filed and get it filed correctly. And it will take about 30 days on average to get the paperwork in, get the proposal written, and get it sent to the IRS. They have a direct line to the IRS. And then after it's approved by the IRS, it takes anywhere from about 3 to 6 months for them to receive the funds in their bank account. After the client has received the funds in their bank account, then they pay the agreed contingency fee to bottom line, and that's anywhere from 10 to 30%. As a referral partner with Ihub Global, we make the largest commission in this field. We receive a minimum of 17% of the commission. And I'll break this down in just a second. The let's say bottom line recovers $10,000 on average. They're recovering about $10,000 per W-2 employee, and you'll see a lot of companies out there claiming we'll get you $26,000 per employee. Not legally and ethically, they won't. And there will be a backlash down the road with these pop-up companies. They're filing these ERCs. They're trumping up the numbers, and down the road, if and when an audit is created, they'll be gone and doing something else. Bottom line concepts again. 400 of the top 1,000 firms in the United States are their clients. They've been in business since 2009. They've done all types of grants and recovery, and they work with some of the largest corporations in the United States. They're going to be here long after. So again, that's why you're hearing, if you hear negative about ERC, that's why. So they recover on average $10,000 per W-2 employee, legally, honestly, ethically. So a business or nonprofit organization with, let's say, 25 W-2 employees would recover on average $250,000. Bottom line's contingency fee on that would be 20%. 20% of $62,500, or 20% of $250,000 would be $62,500. If you're the referral partner that scheduled that call, your commission, $62,500, 17% of that would be $10,625 in your pocket. You don't collect documents. You don't do any of the paperwork. All you're doing is creating the call. That's it. You're scheduling the call with an eligible small business. So you're saying, Dale, if I did one of these a month and they only had 25 W-2 employees, and I get the call scheduled and bottom line calls, and they take them through the entire process, A to Z, I don't have to collect any paperwork or anything. But because I took the time to schedule the call and got that done, I would earn 17% of whatever their fee is. In this case, $62,500. I would earn 17% of that, or $10,625. That's exactly what I'm saying. The only way I know how to describe this is it's like Halley's Comet. It's a Halley's Comet business opportunity, because this ends April 2025. This program is over. It runs out April 2025. So we only have, a couple of years here to get this done. And there's estimated over 20 million businesses in the United States that have not sent in the paperwork for their ERC funds. So that's the overview of the business, guys. And you can learn all you want to learn about this at haleyscommentbiz.com. That's HALLEYS comment, COMET, biz.com. And there has never been anything like this in the history of side gig opportunities. It just does not exist. It doesn't. So why would people miss a once in a lifetime opportunity like this? And it's because their mindset, people don't like change. I talked to a guy last week, and we'll just call him Bud from West Virginia. And I've known him for years. And he called to pitch me on some nutritional company that's been around 17 years and wanted to tell me about all the life-altering effects the product has had for him and his wife and people on his team. And, the same thing we've all heard 5 million times. And I'm just listening, and I'm throwing up in my mouth a little bit as I'm listening to the same old worn-out story. And I know this guy. I like this guy. He's a good guy. But some people cannot get out of their own way. He said, well, I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. And I'm thinking, what could you possibly be doing with your time that would be more profitable than this? What could you possibly be doing that is more profitable than this? And again, it's just certain mindsets. And over the years, I've learned a few things. Number one is you got to say no to many good ideas so you have time for the great ones, for the great ideas. That's part of who I am. I live by that code. Another is something I've observed is that real leaders, real entrepreneurs pivot. Most niche entrepreneurs, whether we want to talk about the MLM niche or the network marketing niche or the Shopify selling on Shopify niche or whatever, they don't pivot. They don't pivot. They learn something, they master it, and they'll just beat their head against the wall, even though the timing is over, even after the opportunity has peaked. And I don't understand that. But there's a lot of people that just live their entire entrepreneurial career. And I did a whole podcast on this called Tripping Over Financial Independence to Make a Few Dollars. And I don't know what session it is, but it's one of the sessions that we recorded in the last 5 years or so. So I guess that's why. And see, some of you think, well, Dale, this sounds good, but I got this going on. I got that going on. Anybody that's listening to this or watching this on YouTube, if you have anything that comes close to this, let me know about it. Because there's nothing that can compare to what's going on here. There's just not. And to think there is naive. So, Dale, how much money do you actually make? The easy way to do this, to guesstimate it, is if you're the one that connects the company with the experts at Bottom Line, you're going to make about $340 per W-2 employee. That's a really good way to look at it. So if they have 10 W-2 employees, you're looking at about $3,400 in commissions. If they have 100, you'd be looking at $34,000. So we have dozens and dozens of people on our team that are making money. I mean, you can go down through here and you can see the number of W-2s these people have. Cameron's got 216, and you can see Tammy here's got 176. So, I mean, that's, what is that? Close to, it would be over $50,000 in commissions coming to her. She's a single mother of 4 adopted kids. Do you think $50-some thousand in commissions is going to change her life? And guys, all these people have done it within 40 days. Again, I have a whole team of them, so I'm not going to go through everything. I'm going to share you a couple of other things real quick, and we're going to end this. I'm going to show you the top income, the top affiliates in this company, and that number is based upon the number of businesses and the number of organizations with W-2 employees that they've shared this with, and that they've connected over the phone. But there's some of you that are listening, maybe like Dan Parks here. Dan has written 2 businesses, but one of them had 500 W-2s and the other one had 430. 2 businesses, a lot of W-2s, big companies. Just from those 2 businesses at $340 average commission, he's looking at $316,000 and $316,200 in commissions, just from those 2 companies. So again, you can make serious money with just a few businesses. You don't have to have a lot. Just a few can make you a lot of money. Now we're looking at the top 25 Ihub ERC referral partners as of today. This is being recorded on 12/12/22. These are the top 25 in this company. And I have a team that is very focused on this. We understand what we're doing. We have everything that we need from a tool standpoint, script standpoint, to go out there and make this happen. And I'll just share with you a little bit about some of the top 25. 10 of the top 25 are part of our team. Dan Bruning is in Frankfort, Kentucky, good friend of mine for many years. Dave Johnston is just absolutely killing it. Dave's in Alabama. Kurt Summers. Kurt is, I think, has been in. He's been in sales. He's been in. I'm not sure what type of sales he's done most recently, but he's been in sales. Very experienced, hard worker. He's out in California. Daniel's out in Wisconsin. Heard about this, listened to us talk about it for a couple of months almost, or a couple of weeks at least. And then he just finally decided, if I'm ever going to do anything in the home business world, now's the time. This is the place. This is the company. This is the team. And to hear him say it, he drew the line in the sand and said, I'm going to make it happen. And he definitely has, doing a phenomenal job. Philip is in Mexico City right now. He's originally from Arizona. He's back and forth. Shelly is out in Utah, doing a phenomenal job. That's myself. I'm between Georgia and Kentucky. Dave Buchanan is down in Florida, doing a great job, just a phenomenal job. Roger is also in California. And then we have Gordy and Kelly, who are number 1 in the company. Well, if you're making over $1 million in 40 days, then you probably would be number 1 in the company. But how are these other people doing? And again, these are the people that have done the most businesses, who've written the most businesses. But then we have some people that are making even more money that aren't on the top 25 leaderboard, simply because of the number of W-2 businesses they've written have been so large companies. But we'll look, Dan here. Dan in Frankfurt has made $78,200 is what he has in the pipeline from a commission standpoint. Now, will all this go through? Probably not, but the calls have been created and the process has started. Okay, there's about 11 steps in this process, but it's been started. And if they all go through, and the examples I'm giving is based upon the number of calls that have been made, the number of W-2 employees that are in the hopper, and assuming that they all go through, which I'm not going to be naive enough to think that all of them will, but most of them will. But Dan has created in 40 days over $78,000. Dave Johnston, one of our top people, again, has got a couple of really large companies, obviously, because in 40 days, all these is 40 days or less. Every example you're seeing, Dave is at $946,900. Kurt's at over 6 figures in 40 days, $103,360. Daniel out in Wisconsin, $292,400 in less than 40 days. Is that ridiculous? And none of these people had any background at all, and this is all based upon their own personal commissions. No affiliate overrides or team building bonuses are included. This is just on their own personal production, asking business owners, have you qualified? Have you applied for your ERC credits yet? And those that haven't, scheduling a call with an ERC recovery expert and getting them connected and getting the process started. There's not one person listening to me that could not do that. Not one. Let me continue here. Philip is at over $57,000. That's almost, what is that? That's over $26,000 a month or something he's averaged in 40 days. He's at 57,000. It's more than that. 57,460. He's doing this long distance from Mexico City. Shelley out in Utah, $339,320. Myself, $217,600. And I'll tell you, when I sit down at the end of the first month, when the first month ended, and I got out my calculator and I just did the numbers, it blew my mind. How is it possible to work about 30 days, and it was 30 days because I missed the first week I was out of town, and create $217,600 in personal commissions by just helping people, helping small business owners get free money from the government that is due them. It's a refund of taxes and expenses that they've already paid during COVID. That's what this is. It's not, willy nilly the company the government just passing out monopoly money. This is a return of some of the money that these companies have paid during the COVID times. It's unbelievable. Who else we have here? Dave down in Florida, $120,350. Rogers out in California, $418,200. And then Gordy and Kelly, that's right, $1,633,360, and submitted W-2s to the company. $1,633,360 in less than 40 days. 40 days ago, they didn't know what ERC was. Ladies and gentlemen, this is real. This is real. Some of you may have heard Gordy and Kelly. I had them on one of our podcasts. I think it was session maybe 138 or something several years ago. I've known them for years. And guys, all these funds are based upon personal production. Again, have nothing to do with building a team. Nothing to do at all with building a team. And I don't care who you are or where you are or what you're doing. But when somebody can start from scratch and go from zero to $1,633,360, $1,633,360. Number's so big I can't say it. In less than 40 days. I mean, if that doesn't light your fire, your wood's wet. Just the fact that somebody can do that and say, well, Dale, they must have super duper skills or must have a this or that. Gordy's a bit maker. He's a craftsman, and he does phenomenal work and has a stellar reputation in the cowboy world. If you've got bits or spurs from Gordy Alderson, then you really have something. They're just good, honest, hardworking people that understood, hey, this is unique. This is different. This is a Halley's Comet, once in a lifetime opportunity. And they didn't play around with it. They just went to work and started contacting people that they knew that own businesses to help them get the funds that are sitting there waiting for them to claim. A wise person investigates what a fool takes for granted. If you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body and any kind of work ethic and self-confidence, you can't miss this. This is a true once-in-a-lifetime income generating program. And I misspelled pass, but don't let it pass you by. So what's next? Contact the person who shared the video with you. Some of you, somebody on our team shared this video with you. Get back with them. Say, well, how do I learn more? How do I get started? What do I need to do? And they'll walk you through the process. You can also, if you just found this video or this audio recording, if you're listening on the podcast, just happened upon it. Nobody specifically sent you here. You can just go to haleyscommentbiz.com and get the full story. You can also contact our office in Georgia at 770-499-2061, or you can contact our office in Kentucky at 502-868-6199. We have, please hear me, we have absolutely no interest in speaking with anyone who doesn't have a successful business background unless you said, Dale, I'm ready to go all in. If you're really ready to get committed and go all in based upon what you've heard, then we'd like to talk to you. But quite frankly, my time is, I can spend my time continuing to just go out there and find businesses and help them collect the funds that are due them. And every time we enroll someone new to this team, it takes a certain amount of time, energy, and effort on our part. And right now, our time is the most valuable asset that we have because this all goes away. As I said, this all goes away April 2025. It's over. So this is an opportunity with a fuse on it, and the fuse is lit. The fuse is lit. You know, I've never seen anything like this in 42 years. I've never seen these type of commissions, but because it's tied to money that's been set aside for the government because of the horrific time and struggle and disruption that COVID put all of us through, and especially small business owners, this money is there, but they have to claim it. And it's a very detailed process to get these funds and these claims done and done correctly. That's why we have teamed up with the number one ERC recovery firm in the United States, which is Bottom Line Concepts. You have questions, get them answered. If you say, oh yeah, Dale, but blah, 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 keep all the blah, blah, blahs to yourself and please leave us alone. Well, Dale, I don't think the government will never send you the money. Guys, there's people cashing checks every day right now as we speak. Just because you think negatively or just because you don't understand does not mean it's correct. And I'm not trying to be rude or crude, but I understand right now for myself and our team, our time is the most valuable asset that we have. And there's a reason 10 of the top 25 Ihub Global ERC affiliates are part of this team. And we're going to maintain that culture. And we don't need thumbsuckers. We don't need excuse makers. We're looking for people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they say, my gosh, Dale, this is a way to make $1 million in 12 months. This is a way, if I can spend the time, energy, and effort and get through the numbers, I see how it's possible to make $1 million in 12 months. And if that's you and you don't contact us, then we both lose. Thanks for your attention. I appreciate you watching. Again, my name's Dale Calvert. Get back with the person that shared this video with you. And I look forward to shaking your hand in the near future. Have an awesome night, day, wherever you are in the world.